You've been praying and nothing. The ceiling feels thick. The words come out, but where do they go? You start wondering if you did something wrong, if maybe you're being punished or worse, forgotten. But what if I told you God's silence isn't what you think it is? What if the quiet isn't rejection? What if it's something else entirely? Stay with me, because what comes next might shift everything. In this video, I'm walking you through 7 signs, real, grounded signs that God is actually moving in your life right now, even when you can't feel it, especially when you can't feel it. If you're in a silent season, you found this for a reason. Don't scroll away yet. This one's for you. Sig 1. God is strengthening your faith without feelings. Here's something nobody tells you when you're new to faith. Feelings fade. They're supposed to. Remember when you first believed? That rush, that warmth, everything made sense and you couldn't stop talking about it. But now it feels like static, like you're reaching for something you used to hold so easily. That emptiness scares you. I get it. But faith was never meant to live on emotion forever. Emotion is the spark, not the fire itself. What God is doing in the quiet is building something sturdier, something that doesn't collapse the moment life gets hard. Hebrews 11:1 talks about faith as trusting what you can't see. And right now, you're living that out. Not in words, in practice. You're still here, still praying, still hoping. That's not weakness. That's endurance being forged inside you. Sign 2. God is removing distractions and noise. Think about what used to fill your time. Conversations that drained you. People who pulled you sideways. Goals that looked shiny but led nowhere real. Slowly, things started falling away. Relationships cooled. Doors closed. Opportunities you wanted went to someone else. And you thought, maybe I'm losing everything. But maybe you're being cleared. God works in subtraction sometimes. He doesn't always add to move you forward. Sometimes he strips things back so you can finally hear what matters. Matthew 6:33 reminds us to seek first what's true and let the rest find its place. That job you lost, that friendship that ended, that plan that crumbled. What if it wasn't falling apart? What if it was making room? Sign 3, God is preparing you for a new season. You feel stuck, I know. Nothing's moving, nothing's changing. You're doing the same things, having the same thoughts, waking up to the same walls, but something's shifting. You just can't see it yet. There's this strange restlessness inside you, a pull towards something you can't name. You're not who you were a year ago, but you're not yet who you're becoming. That in-between space, it's preparation. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says there's a time for everything. And what you're feeling right now isn't stagnation, it's the pause before the change. Seeds don't announce when they're growing underground, but they are. So are you. Sign 4, God is healing you internally. Some wounds don't bleed. You carry them in your chest, in your memory, in the way you flinch when certain names come up, in how tired you feel even after sleeping, and nobody sees it. Not really, but God does. This silence you're in, this slow, painful, quiet, it's not empty, it's surgery. The kind that happens when nobody's watching. Old patterns breaking, old beliefs loosening, old shame finally getting air. Psalm 147:3 speaks of a God who binds up the brokenhearted. You don't feel healed yet. I believe you. But healing doesn't always feel like relief at first. Sometimes it feels like aching, like pressure, like being cracked open. Trust the ache. Something's mending beneath it. Sing. God is teaching you obedience and patience. You want to move. God says, wait. You want an answer. God stays quiet. You want clarity. You get fog. And honestly, it's maddening. Why won't he just tell you what to do? Because sometimes the test isn't about the destination. It's about whether you'll stay when you don't understand. James 1-4 speaks of patience completing its work in us. Anyone can obey when the instructions are clear, but learning to trust when you can't see the path that changes who you are at the core. This delay you're frustrated with? It's not punishment, it's training. Sign 6. God is protecting you from what you can't see. There's a version of your life you almost lived, that relationship you begged for, that job you thought would fix everything, that city you wanted to move to, that yes you never got. You thought God was ignoring you, but maybe he was shielding you. We only see forward. God sees around corners. He knows what that yes would have cost you. He knows the version of you that would have crumbled under that pressure. He knows the harm that looked like a gift. Proverbs 3-5 asks us to trust without leaning on our own understanding. That closed door you keep knocking on, what if it's locked for your sake? One day, you'll look back and thank God for the things he didn't give you. Sign 7. God is building a deeper relationship with him. When the blessings slow down, something interesting happens. You start to ask harder questions. Not just, what can I get, but who is he really? This is where real relationship begins. Not in the highs, not in the breakthroughs, but in the quiet when there's nothing to distract you from simply being present with him. John 15-4 speaks of abiding, staying close, remaining, and that's what this season is doing. You're learning to sit with God when there's nothing flashy happening, no miracles, no loud answers, just presence. And that more than any sign or wonder is where intimacy grows. He's not far, he's closer than he's ever been. He's just waiting for you to stop running long enough to notice. Closing. So here's the truth nobody told you. Silence doesn't mean God left. It means he's working where your eyes can't reach. He's strengthening you, clearing the noise, preparing you for what's next, healing old wounds, teaching you to trust, shielding you from danger you'll never know about, and pulling you closer into something deeper than you've ever experienced. If this video reached you at the right moment, maybe that's not random. Silence is not abandonment. It's alignment. If this spoke to you, drop the word silence in the comments. Hit like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and whatever you do, don't give up on what you can't see. It's coming.